Good morning. It's too cold outside. Peter was watching the show. So I'm in the spare bedroom. That painting, that picture is so beautiful. My friend Holly, who stayed here, last time she stayed here, she bought that for us. God, it's a gorgeous picture. Anyway, let's see. Somebody's here. Oh, good morning, Cher. Um, I, I wanted to talk about what I wrote about the other day. Um, my, I don't even know what to call her. It's my granddaughter's mom. Her name is Bridget, and I love her very much. She doesn't love her. She don't, like most people, we're looking for love outside of ourselves in the stuff and other people. And if they don't do blah, 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 they hurt me. They have to be a certain way for me. Who has to be a certain way for you to love them? Good morning, my D. People are who they are. They all have their own path. Everybody has their own path, and our minds judge them for doing it wrong. Nobody's doing it wrong. Everybody's doing exactly what they're supposed to. I don't like that supposed to be. What they're meant to do. Nobody's doing anything. It's that little me that we believe we are. Good morning, Cynthia. My girls are all here now. mm. um, so there's that. Now we can get on with that freaking thing. Nobody's doing anything wrong, but it's all that little me, that false idea of me that believes it's doing. That's part of the makeup of that me is I'm doing it wrong. I'm better or less than. I. That identification with that I is what causes every single pain inside of you. The minute you are with someone and it ends, the 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 coming together ends, they leave or you leave or whatever, the mind starts going. Immediately, it starts saying all kinds of shit about the other person until you realize that they are you. They are you. There's no separation. The love, the light that you are is them too. That's why we can use each relationship to heal our pains and start coming from love. Because nothing takes from, even if somebody's screaming at me saying I did something wrong. Recently that happened with my son, saying I did something wrong. I knew on the fundamental level that that's not true. It's not true. Everything is happening exactly, and I could see the perfection in it. That when you zoom out and you realize that you're not the doer, this everything is just happening. and there's no me inside doing anything, then it lessens the judgments, because the judgment, you're only judging yourself. Literally every single fear of the other judging you is your own judgment. It's literally your own. You're afraid that they're going to think what you're already subconsciously thinking about yourself, which is shit. It's not true. And that's why it feels so bad. Anyway, so what I wrote this week was embracing what I wrote. Okay. I'm not taking, I didn't write it. When I say I, it's come through. The life is writing this through this Lori character. Uh, uh, I don't take pride. I don't take what is it? What I don't take. I didn't do it. I did. I literally. It's coming through. It's like a resonance in the back somewhere, and it comes to the front. I can feel it coming. And then I sit down, and then literally doing it with this one finger is on my phone. I haven't even done any posts on this computer, which should be so easy to type it out. But with this phone, there's just something me in this phone. Everybody knows I've got this phone. This phone is basically attached to my hip. And you know what? I don't have a problem with it. Everybody else has a problem with it. Maybe I do on some level because it's coming at me, but it is what it is. This phone, when there's inspiration coming, I drop everything and it's just one finger. And the finger is going fast. Okay. The meme was because Bridget sent me this and said, I immediately thought of you. And the meme was, here, you can borrow my belief in you until you find yours again. Mm. So that hit Lori as so touching, so sweet. That's like the highest compliment that she knows I believe in her. She knows I love her. That's my Lori's lot in life is if I died, if she died tomorrow or in the next minute, she knows that everyone in her vicinity knows she loves them. That's that. After that, what matters? Does anything matter after that? Love is all there is. The only reason everything seems to be happening or showing up is because of love. That energy, that aliveness inside is love. And when you feel it, you can't help but spread it. You just can't help it. And when it comes back with a lashing, you know that has nothing to do with the love can absolve it. The love. Even if you're apologizing, they're not going to get my apology. That's what's going on here at our place. He's not going to get my apology. We're going to pay more because he's not going to get my apology. What does it take from you to say, I apologize? The only one it seems to take something from is the false self. It's the one you think you are, made of thoughts and possessions and that one that causes so much pain, believing in this body being real, being me. And yeah, an apology doesn't take anything from you. It only takes, it only hurts. Okay, so the me doesn't want to see that it's done something wrong. It can't get in the other person's situation. Love can do that. When we realize that we are love, it's all inclusive. It doesn't have enemies. It doesn't need to fight. Um, I had a conversation with my sister the other day. Beautiful conversation. Oh my God. On my end, because I just loved her. When I was speaking to her, she's in a lot of pain, and I was speaking from that loving place, right in looking in her eye, and I felt her looking in mine. There's so much fighting in her, so much fear, fear of not being enough. That's what this little me, the bottom line is, I'm not enough. There's something wrong with me. That's the bottom. That's what I learned at Byron Katie's. When I first went there, that was what she focused on right away. The belief inside that something's wrong with me. Everybody has it. Every me has it. And it's possible to not have it anymore and come from that love that you really are. And it just envelops everybody. And that conversation was so beautiful. I could have walked on air leaving there. I don't know how she felt. I don't, but for me, I know that I was centered. Lori was centered in love. Hello, Salome. Welcome. um, so as you're centered in that love, it dissipates. Each time there was an outburst of he did this, she did, that is not you. And that's what I pointed out. That's not you. That's the ego. That is not who you are. When you realize the love that you are, it doesn't have to do any of that. Or if it does, you know you're coming from the false self. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you very much. Um, so each relationship that we have has the power to bring you back to the love that you are. It has, think of a relationship where you, because another thing, the me needs to get, is trying to get love from that person, which is not possible. That's not how love works. Love works by recognize it within you, and then you spread it everywhere because it's easy, because it's in you. It fills you up. You feel it. You can't help. You cannot help but love everyone because you love you. You, flaws and all. And if something comes up and makes it feel like that love is missing, and there's anger and resentment towards them, they're doing it wrong, right there, wait a minute. Take a breath. Right there, you know you're thinking and believing something that's not true about you. Not about them, about you. Right there, you're identified with the false belief in a person that needs their love, which you're never going to get. You are never going to get love outside of you. And that's what we're constantly looking for. It in money, it in cars and houses and drugs and alcohol and relationships. It ain't happening. It is not happening ever. You will not get love from out there. Love and approval, that's another thing, because we learn when we're little, approval, approval. We crave approval. That's why people want to be rich and famous, because approval is holding up that me. I've done it right. But still underneath is that belief that I've done it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. That's why it needs the outer validation because it's at the core, it doesn't believe it's worthy. It believes it's doing it wrong. And there's somewhere you guys are all the 500 people every week that listen, feel, feel the truth of this. And just know that if you are just a little bit willing, curiosity, if you're curious enough and a little bit willing to stop and realize, oh, if somebody's coming at you and or the mind is saying they are wrong, that right there, it feels like shit inside. So you know it's not true. You know that you're projecting your shit out there and they're bringing it back for your awakening to this, for your awakening to the love that you have always been and just forgot. You just forgot. And there's nothing wrong. That's why whenever somebody is coming at me with this, no, I love them. Inside, I'm just sending love because it dissipates that. The words just come. Life knows what it's doing. The words, the beautiful words just come to dissipate. Ah, the words that came with my sister were just, it was beautiful, beautiful on my end. I know it was on her end too, but she doesn't realize it yet. There's a lot of resentment, and that's what I have. I said, there's something about me that is, you're fearful, did I say afraid of, or you're, and she is afraid. She goes, because every time I let it down, you hurt me. And I said, life is happening perfectly for each one of us. When you believe you're a victim of me or life, you hurt. Period. No one is a victim. And she said, I don't believe I'm a victim. Oh, yes, you do. And I can love you right through it if you let me. That's the bottom line. Because the little me is afraid of love, afraid of pure love, not the infatuation love, the love that we think we're getting from a relationship. That is not love. No, that's just mutual adoration or whatever. That's for the me, for the false self. um, but the real love, real, authentic, perfect love that we all are dissipates all resentment, all because love feels amazing, real love. Even if you think it's just from good morning, Monica. I didn't see you. I was so locked on. Thanks for joining. Um, real love, perfect love is what they say in the Course in Miracles. Is what we all are. So anything that's coming from the false self, the bottom line, I'm not, something's wrong with me, I'm not good enough, all of that feels like shit in this body. So that's why this message is hitting the love you are. And it's like that little me is like, oh, I love this. I feel this. I feel the truth of it, but I'm afraid to let go. Because what if I don't? What if I have to control this? That's the biggest thing the ego, the false self wants to do, thinks it's in control of this. You ain't controlling shit. Good morning, Jennifer. Hello, Jennifer. It felt funny to say that. Jen. It doesn't feel right to say Jennifer. Anyway, so that love, I always come back to that love if I get sidetracked because that's it. And that love that you are wants to come out. But you've been identified with that false self of poor me, woe is me. which feels like shit. Mm, that's why you know it's not true. When you love it, even love that little me. Can you just love her or him? He's not doing anything, she's not doing anything wrong. It may seem so because you're not only judging other people, that little me is judging itself first. And as the love takes over, there's no more judgment. Or if judgment comes up, it feels like shit in the body because most of the time you're feeling good. So it's a disturbance inside. It's like, okay, I'm back into the false me. I'm back into the ego, not who I am. The ego is what Dr. Dyer used to say, edging God out. Because we are all, God is love. Don't say miserably. No, 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 no. There's the judgment right there, Jen. Working hard on this self love thing. Okay. You don't have to work hard. It's literally about letting go. When it feels like shit inside, you know you are believing in the false me that's not good enough. The okay, that's the ego. It's not even real. It's literally made up of thoughts about Jen, about Monica. Hang on. Anyway, good morning, Todd. She just said, "Am I on? Am I on story?" Hi, Todd. That came from a message. Anyway, um, okay, the ego, the edging God out. Okay, weren't we taught that God is love? Not a man. We were taught that it's a man in the sky separate from us who is judging us for the sins that we, that is not the truth. Feel that. That just holds up the false me, the one that's not real, that edges God out. We are that love, that God. And I'm not saying whatever grows these fingernails and hair and makes these words come out. This is not from the false self. This is clearly from love. God. God is love. Nothing would be in this world if it wasn't for love. Energy. That's another way to say it. Because your mind's going to try to understand this. It's not coming from your mind. The mind cannot understand what perfect love really is. I mean, just being open to this message gets you to uh, realize that there is a different way. We don't have to suffer in life. We don't have to suffer. But as we suffer, we can look at that suffering, that contractive feeling inside, and say, okay, right there, I am thinking and believing that I'm a person that can do something wrong. And then you got to prove that you're right. Oh, the proof. It needs to be right so bad that it'll look up. I see myself looking up Google to settle something. What? Who the hell cares if do you the only reason the me needs to be right is because there is a belief that it's wrong. That it's already good morning, 8 degrees in Virginia. Shit. As soon as you said 8 degrees, Julie, good morning. I was thinking you were in Maine. I know better than that because 8 degrees is a Maine temperature, not Virginia. Shit. My girlfriend Phoebe is heading. She's probably in Virginia now. I think it's Virginia. She's going to moving her nephew. She's a Floridian, a true Floridian. She grew up here in Cape Coral, but she saw snow. Anyway, so edging God out. is the ego, and it is not who you are. So anytime you're fighting life, thinking it should be different than what is right in front of you, you know you're coming from that false self, which isn't real. It's causing all the pain and suffering in that body, all that stuck energy from a from where we live. 25 in Maine. Julie, you need to go back to Maine. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's another thing. When you move somewhere else, when Peter and I moved to Florida, there was a total resistance to being. We forgot. I left Maine because of the shit. Yeah, we think we did, but no, life directed you. There were thoughts that came up, so the little me thought it was going to be better somewhere else, which is if you let go of everything you're resisting about Virginia, everything that you're fighting about Virginia, you can come to love it. Now you're realizing how much you loved Maine when you leave it. Although I don't miss shoveling and scraping, going to start my car 15 minutes before I left just so I can get in it decently without. Anyway, yeah, our minds are always looking for something better. The ego is always looking, thinking it's going to be better somewhere else. But do you see that it couldn't be any different? What the 25? You're just assuming it's going to. That's hilarious. Assuming since you're south, it should be warmer. See, that's how our mind has to argue, thinking it's been shorted, it's been cheated. Nope, that's how automatic it is. It feels it's been cheated. It's been screwed. Or I made a mistake. You can't make a mistake. That's another thing. I don't know if I've ever talked about that. It's not possible. It is not possible to make a mistake because you're not doing this. Life is putting you exactly where you need to be for your awakening. And you can fight it or you can embrace it and say, she does miss Maine. But you miss the familiarity of it. You miss it's not, okay, so it's only the me, here we go, that misses anything. Who you truly are doesn't miss a thing. It doesn't miss. It's not about missing. That longing, that wanting it back, feel that. It feels like shit inside. It's not comfortable. Missing is like something should be different than it is. Or, I mean, all I have to do is think about it and it's right there. Just like my parents. I don't miss them. And to society or the me's, that seems cold hearted. But I feel closer to them now that they're gone than when they were here. I don't miss them one bit. And being away from Maine, we were just there for 2 weeks. A week ago today, I was there. That thought came up when I was in the shower a week ago today. So, I mean, so it's always trying to get you to feel guilty because that's what concretizes the idea of the me in the body. Anytime you feel guilty, I've done something wrong or I did something to somebody, that's all from the ego. You can't do it wrong. If nothing else, keep that in the forefront. Nope, I can't do it wrong. Or nobody's doing it wrong to me. I'm not a victim. Keep that one in too. I'm not a victim. When you're complaining about life, it should be different. Nope. That's causing your own suffering. It's causing this body upset and it's showing you. If it's upset inside, you're thinking and believing you're this person that can fuck life up. And you can't. You never can. And most people, like at the end of mom's life, most people go to the end of their life, and that's on their deathbed. They realize there's no more future. There never really is a future. We only think there is. There isn't a future. So if you're having a problem with somebody and it's killing you inside and you're thinking they're the problem, turn it around because we are not promised another minute. You are not promised another minute. They've done nothing wrong. You've done nothing wrong. Love holds all of that in the palm of its hands. There's no pain in love. What does it say? Love hurts. Something we were on. We were. It said love hurts. Oh, it was in that movie with Pam Anderson. My girlfriend and I went to see it yesterday. Um, The Last Showgirl, and it's something in it said love hurts. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Only false love, ego love. That's not real. That is not what love is. Love is not jealous or boastful or anything. It's all encompassing. It's all pervasive because it's everywhere. We just don't see it when we feel like we're separate from it. That little me that started growing when we started realizing we're not good enough. We started taking on this false belief of I'm not good enough when we were little. The false me, bottom line, is I'm not good enough. Something's wrong with me, and it isn't true. And it causes so much pain. Okay, so let's see. This is what I wrote, what came through. Our minds have been diligently working from childhood onward to construct identities that compensate for this profound misconception. Oops, I didn't start from the beginning. Embracing the pain of the unloved self is the most courageous thing any human can do. Embracing that pain of the unloved self. Every pain that we have in our bodies is coming from the belief of the false self. And you can't, it, okay. If you can love it, that's that's the hardest thing. Okay, not the I don't want to say that. No, take that back. Rewind that. Nothing is hard. It's only the false self that believes something is hard. It's judging everything that we're doing as either good, bad, right, wrong. That's duality, which isn't. There is no duality. It's literally that's mind made. So the that unloved self, boy, it's so hard to talk about this in words because it's a feeling. That's what's being conveyed through this is the feeling of love. And that brings you back to what you truly are before you took on the belief of a me, a false self that is unlovable. It believes it is unlovable. It's not unlovable, not good enough, same thing. It's not worthy of love. No amount of worldly love is ever going to fill it either. It's about recognizing that it's not real. It is made up of thoughts. Describing a me that isn't real. Identification with this body. My sister is probably one of the smallest people I know. Well, except for my girlfriend Lynn next door. and she thinks she's fat. She believes she's fat. I said to her, "Are you kidding me?" She goes, "I am fat." And there was such conviction. There's no way any amount of my questioning or saying, "Really?" It's going to change that. That is so painful. She probably weighs, it's in the low, maybe 115. Maybe, maybe she's fat. The belief, do you see? See what that ego mind does? I'm not enough. Something's wrong with me. What? When we're identified with this body, that is the worst. That's the beginning of the pain because it's the belief in I'm not enough will it will constantly it's in the background constantly. What if what if you looked in the mirror every morning when you're getting ready and said, "I love you." So this is what Lori took to doing because it was a suggestion by someone. So you can't look in someone's eyes at the same time. There's only one you can focus on. So I start with I love you, looking in my magnifying mirror. And then so it's off because there's three, three, there's two, but there's three words. So then the I love you is in the different eye. It's fun. It's fun. And it just starts helping open up. And you're not the doer. So whether you do it or not, don't let it beat you up. It doesn't. Just by entertaining this message, resonating with this message, just know that's enough because your mind is going to work on it. There are certain things, certain words that are going to stick in there and it's going to start playing it like when you're doing the dishes, when you're in the shower or when you're driving. There's it's going to come up contemplating because that's what it does. Usually it contemplates after it's negative, but this message is positive. It is still duality, but it is a positive one. What if she's telling the truth? What if? What if? What if? What if I am the love that I'm looking for in the world that I can't get? Clothes. It used to be clothes for me. I used to go buy clothes. I would go do hair at night for extra money and I'd stop by Fashion Bug and Topsum to buy clothes to try to enhance this body because I already hated it. I was secretly hating it, trying to get clothes to disguise it or have people say, "Oh, I like that." Wow, so painful. So painful. Living for compliments. Now, when I get a compliment, it doesn't, there's no, it doesn't, it's not held in there. Oh, I need to wear this again because, so that's the way it used to be. Or I need to look this way because I got attention. That little I causes so much suffering and we don't even realize it. When you realize, good morning, Jeannie, cold in Toronto, I bet. Tomorrow. Okay, yay. She's back tomorrow. Um, so um that little me needing all the accolades, the love and attention and constantly saying, see, I was right. Doesn't. That just amplifies me that you are not. And the love, once you realize the love that you are, it doesn't matter what anybody says, good or bad, negative or positive. It doesn't matter because that love absolves anything negative or positive. It's just what is. There's no accolades or taken away. It doesn't add or subtract from you. There's no addition to or subtraction from. It's not possible because love is one thing. It's just one thing. And it can't be broken up. It's only our minds that break up the ticker tape of I only have so much love to give, so I've got to only give it to the people that are worthy. The ones that haven't hurt me. No one can hurt you. They are your mirror to seeing what you're thinking and believing about yourself that isn't true. If it hurts and you feel like they did this to me, 3 fingers are pointing back at you. 3. One's at them, 3 are back at you. Let that be your temple bell. Oh, shit, yeah. I'm thinking and believing about I'm thinking from the ego mind, not from the love that I am. Because it hurts. Oh, that's good. When this comes out like this, I feel that energy inside. I feel the truth of it. And you guys can too, or you wouldn't be listening. Anyway, let's go back. Embracing the pain of the unloved self is the most courageous thing any human can do. Denise, I'm enough. Suffering comes from another source. Working on ACIM to realize that nothing is real. It's thoughts of whatever, trying to remember that love is all there is. That's it. That love, that joy that you are. You've just forgotten. You are that joy that you embody. Good morning, Lisha. That you embody as a baby. That's why we love to be around kids, because their ego minds aren't built yet. They're building. My grandson already, mine. And if he doesn't get it, he has a breakdown already. He's a year and a half. Oh, which now is the challenging time for the parents. I mean, it's challenging all the way, but okay. Essentially, every single self-image we hold at its core a limiting belief, I'm not enough. And every single challenge stems from this belief. Every challenge. If you can let go in the moment, take a breath. When you feel it coming up, that's from the false self. That's not you. What would love do? What would love do in this moment? Usually the opposite. Usually the opposite of what is coming up. To lash back. We're often unaware of this deeply ingrained belief as it remains hidden. I'm not enough is running subconsciously. It's the bottom line of the false self. And it's underneath. But it can become conscious. Oh my God, somebody's yelling at me. Somebody's saying I'm not enough. That's not true. That's not true. And instead of blaming them and feeling like a victim of them, realize that they are you. They are that love too. That's why it dissolves as you find the love that you are. When it comes up as, oh, they hurt me, it dissolves in the love. There's no hurt in love. There's zero hurt in perfect love. Yes, realizing that you're making up this painful stuff in your mind. Yes, you can realize it's miserable for them too. That's why when I was talking to my sister, I was able to hold space for all of that that's in her. I mean, other people are afraid of her. They don't want to be on her bad side because it's not a pretty place to be when you don't realize the love that you are. But that's not love. They're all giving her keeping her ego intact by supporting the venom she has against whoever. And she's hurting And everybody else is hurting her too, hurting the me. But there's a silver lining, because whoever that suffering gets so bad that you're open to this message. It takes suffering and being fed up with the suffering and blaming the long list of people, and you move on from them, but they hurt me, but they stay in there. Each person that hurt you is still in there. It's your mind holds it against them. But this holding against somebody else is literally holding you hostage. It's hurting you, not them. That's what I told her, because there are two of her friends that are just holding so much venom against me because I've hurt her. So it seems in this life. And that's not true. And that's what I told her. I said, and nobody's hurting anybody. We're only hurting ourselves. Each person is a mirror of you. And these two are hating me. And I told her, I said, the hatred that they're holding for me is living in them, not me. I'm going on with my life pretty beautifully, I would say. um, because the love is the barometer. The love you feel is the barometer to your heaven on earth. When anybody who's died and come back, if you watch any NDE, they all say the minute they came out of their body, the love came out of the body, there was no more dumbing down. There was pure peace, the most unconditional love they could ever imagine. That's why they don't want to come back. But it's possible to feel that here. That's what's called heaven on earth, bringing heaven right here by loving, realizing the love that you are is possible. Our minds have been diligently working from childhood onwards to construct identities that compensate for this profound misconception of the false self. Every single self-image we hold about ourselves directly blocks the truth about ourselves, below. This truth awaits your discovery. Every single relationship has the power to guide you toward realizing this truth. See, I couldn't have written that. Lori couldn't have written that. It literally came through this finger. Will you continue blaming others, or will you have the courage to look within and confront your own limitations? In love, there are no limitations. None. And that's what they feel when they come out of their bodies. There's no limit. There's no limiting. The mind, the false self is the only limit. It's only when you believe you are that, there are limits. There are no limits to the real you, the love that you are. As you explore your inner self and refuse to let your ego mind assign blame, refuse to let it blame, you're on your way to recognizing the truth of you. The truth is, you are love itself. These self images crave love so deeply that they react negatively towards the one who hurt us. They cannot hurt the love that you are. Nothing can hurt the love that you are. Nothing in this world can hurt the love that you are. Even if someone shot me, shot this body, raped it, whatever, did the worst thing you can imagine to this body, who I am is not affected by it at all. Once they shoot me, kill this body, this me, who I am is going to come out of it. And they say go back into another one. I don't know. I don't know about that. I can't say it because I don't know. I can't know. But these past life regression things that they take people into. I've never had that. Maybe that would change it. I don't know. Maybe it would get me to see, but I haven't seen, so I can't. Um, it's not possible to hurt the love that you are. They only trigger the painful, unloved beliefs you hold about yourself. Right? They literally trigger the pain. That's why they're your gift, because they're triggering what's not real. They're triggering that false self you believe yourself to be. They're highlighting that. That's why they're your gift. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because how else will you identify it? Can you see how if you pause and silently thank them in the moment of hurt or contraction, they become your gift? They prompt you to recognize these deeply held beliefs that prevent you from realizing the love that you are. If you realize you are taking something personal as your body reacts to what something has been said or done negatively, this is your opportunity to begin to free yourself. I feel their hurt doesn't feel like mine, but sure, it's the ego. Again, exactly. When somebody says, I feel their hurt, you're not feeling somebody else's hurt. You're only feeling your own. Well, you're not, hurt is from the false self, from this body and mind's idea of you. That hurt, that can hurt. But that's the way it's made. That's how God, life, love did this, because it gets you to go inside and realize that's not me. That's not who I am. That's the false me. Um, yeah, anytime. Nothing is personal. Nothing is personal. Nothing is ever personal. Nothing. When you take it personal, you know it's coming from the person, the me. That's false. It's literally made up of thoughts of a me that's on a timeline of birth and death. Who you really are, that love that you are, isn't born and it doesn't die. And it's not separate from anything. Not another person, not another water bottle, we're the same one thing. Okay, don't blame them. Thank them. They are freeing you from from believing you are a victim of them or life. Life is doing something to me. Oh, how awful does that feel? There's constant challenges coming up and if you feel a victim of it, ew, that hurts. That's why you're right there. Use every little thing. Use it. The worst pain is only from believing you are a person going through a timeline of life that isn't true. Love has no timeline. Love is everything, everywhere, and nowhere at the same time, because there is nowhere. What did Albert Einstein say? Oh, I don't. Albeit a persistent one. Shit, I can't remember the beginning of it. Anyway, there is zero power in victimhood. Oh, that one. Maybe that's what I'll title this. There's zero power in victimhood, because it's taking, believing you're a victim of somebody else brings you're powerless. Love is the most powerful. It's the most all encompassing. It's power, because no one can get to you. No one can hurt you. No one can, it doesn't matter what anybody says. about you. It doesn't matter. If it matters, you know you're coming from that false belief in a me on a timeline. Oh, that's what Albert Einstein said. Time isn't real. Time is illusion. Time is an illusion, albeit a persistent one. He knew, Albert Einstein knew there was no false self there. His creativity, he freaking, oh my God. Unbelievable, this man. Unbelievable. Okay. If this resonates even a little bit and you'd like more understanding, join me tomorrow. Join me. Anyway. Wow. Almost an hour. Seems right. Oh, thank you all for being here. Thank you for entertaining this message. Thank you for showing up for the love that you are. Just for showing up. This message has the power to change everything in your life. And I think you feel it. Thank you again. I love you because you're me. You are me. There is no separation. Ooh, that was good. See you next Sunday.